Brother, why is it that you can crush it at work, provide for your family, maybe even hit the gym a few times a week, and yet you still feel like you're dragging your feet in life? Why is it that some mornings you wake up with no fire, no hunger, no drive, like you're stuck in neutral? Well, it's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're weak. It's because porn has hijacked your brain's motivation system. And if you've been wondering why you can't sustain momentum, why you've lost that hunger to pursue your calling, why the life you say you want always feels just out of reach, then lean in, because in today I'm going to expose to you the truth about how porn robs men of their motivation and drive, but more importantly, how you today can begin to take it back. Guys, welcome to the Rebuilt Man podcast. My name is Coach Frank Rich, founder and host here, and it has been our mission for the last 6.5 years to help men just like you caught up in the depths of this pornography addiction, break the chains, reclaim back their lives, rebuild their identities, and step into a life of freedom of purpose. So if you're new to the podcast, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're watching us on YouTube, turn those post notifications on. Because in today's episode, we're pulling back the curtain on something I see every single day working with men inside of our brotherhood and our private one-to-one exclusive coaching. High-performing men, business owners, executives, husbands, fathers, men who on the outside seem to have it all together, but inside they're empty, they're numb, and most importantly, they've lost their drive. And we ask ourselves, what's the root of all of this? Well, brother, the answer is pornography. So we're going to break it down in these 3 ways. We're going to talk about the science, what is happening inside of your brain. We're going to discuss the fallout, how this plays out in your life every single day, and we're going to expose to you the truth. What does God's word say about all of this, and how can you take your drive back? Let's start with breaking down the science, though, the science of hijack. Here's the truth. Porn just doesn't scratch an itch. Brother, it's literally rewiring your brain. Neuroscience has shown us that when you consume porn, it lights up the same reward pathways as drugs like cocaine and heroin. The dopamine surge trains your brain to crave novelty, intensity, and instant gratification. And over time, your brain builds a tolerance. Now, what does this mean? It means that what you used to excite you, the things like building your business, making progress in the gym, and even pursuing your wife, now feels dull compared to the constant stream of pixels you've trained yourself to rely on. Brain scans show that decreased gray matter in the parts of the brain responsible for motivation and decision-making in men who compulsively consume pornography. The translation here is the very thing you need to chase goals and lead your life is being destroyed every time you hit play. But let me ask you a question. When was the last time you felt genuine excitement pursuing your goals without needing a screen to feel alive? And here's where this gets real, the fallout in real life, because it doesn't stop in your brain. It plays out into every area of your life. Men who use porn regularly report higher rates of depression, anxiety, and emotional flatness. You wake up and wonder why you feel so numb, why you've got no spark for life. It's not because your life is boring, it's because your brain reward system has been hijacked. Well, here's another hard fact. Nearly 1 in 4 men under the age of 35 who consume porn regularly struggle with erectile dysfunction or diminished arousal with their partners. Think about that. Young, healthy men who can't even get aroused with a real woman because their brains are so conditioned to pixels on a screen. And the fact of the matter here is this doesn't kill your sex life. It robs and kills your ambition. I had a brother inside of our program one time tell me that after 60 days clean, I didn't just get my sex life back. I got my ambition. I finally wanted to grow my business again. I finally felt hunger inside again. That's what's at stake here. Your life, your mission, your purpose, your legacy. So I'll ask you another question here. What has porn cost you in your career, in your marriage, and in your faith? Now let's go a little bit deeper here, because this isn't just about brain science. It's about your soul. Porn is not just a behavior problem. It is an hijacking of your identity. The pathway out of it, Romans 12:2 tells us, do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. The pattern of this world says indulge, escape, numb out. Porn has been normalized. You've been told that it's no big deal, but God's word calls us to a higher standard. The enemy doesn't need to destroy you with drugs or alcohol if he can rob you of your vision and purpose with lust. If he can keep you numb, distracted, and chasing pixels, then you'll never step into the calling God has placed on your life. Brother, hear me out on this. Discipline is worship. Pursuing your purpose is obedience. Quitting porn isn't about trying harder. It's about living in alignment with the man that God has called and designed you to be. So I'll ask you another question here. Who are you becoming every time you choose instant gratification over your God-given purpose? Now, up to this point, this episode may be daunting. It may be discouraging. It may have you feeling hopeless. What can happen? Well, here's the good news, is you can rewire your brain. Neuroplasticity plays both ways. The same way porn has conditioned your brain for instant gratification, you can condition it back for purpose, discipline, and drive. How? You ask? Through daily habits and brotherhood. Replace your porn-driven dopamine with purpose-driven dopamine, things like fitness, progress towards your goals, daily prayer, and gratitude. Journal daily. Get clarity on your new identity. Have something that you're working towards, someone that you're chasing. You can lean into hard, difficult tasks, things like cold showers, hard workouts. Train your body to choose discomfort over ease. And most importantly, you got to surround yourself with men who will not let you fail. One of our brothers went from years of relapse and shame to now leading a men's group in his church. And you know what he told me? Finally, when he found that freedom, began to lead other men, Frank, my ambition is on fire again. Brother, that's what's possible when you cut porn out and step into what you were created to be. So picture this. What would your life look like if your energy, your confidence, your drive were all restored? It's a lot to process here. It's a lot to get clear on. The truth can hurt and it can be difficult. But to recap all this, we know that porn hijacks your motivation. By rewiring your brain's reward system, you begin to seek novelty, comfort, escapism over purpose, passion, and pursuits. Porn leaves you flat, numb, and stuck. But the most important message here today is freedom is possible. Not by white-knuckling your way with more willpower, but by renewing your mind, reclaiming your identity, and aligning your life with God's purpose. So here's the truth, brother. You're not lacking motivation. It's just been stolen. If you don't fight to take it back, you'll drift further and further away from the man that God has designed you to be. But you don't have to fight this battle alone. It's exactly why I created the free 7-day porn reset, to give you structure, the tools, and most importantly, the brotherhood to start renewing your mind and rebuilding your drive. So if you're ready to stop wasting your energy on fantasy and start pouring it back into your faith, into your family, into your life, and into your future, go to therebuiltman.com/7-day reset and join us for free today. Because freedom grows in brotherhood, and your drive, your purpose, your calling are all on the line. Visit therebuiltman.com/7-day reset or click the link down there in the show notes below. And brother, I look forward to seeing you on the inside.